your primary is to escape for the umpire. You want to get in a position where you escape without hitting any person going back to your position. Correct?
That's right. That's exactly. I want him here. He's preventing the snap. He's looking through me. He has no reason to look for substitution or anything else. He's totally dependent on me, right here. And when he puts his hands down and says it's okay, I'm in position. Now I'm going to communicate with the center. Give me an opportunity to get out. That's why we want him up. I move. By the time I get there, he's getting down, and then they go, and we're in position.
Would you think if you get him up off the ball, it gives him more time to escape?
Absolutely. That's why I tell people, get him up right here. Get him up, get him off the ball. So when you escape, then he can go down, and you're getting an opportunity to get in position.
In the same instance, if they're in a hurry, or you got a team that's hurrying the hell out of the ball, like Lake Travis or Baylor, and they get a first down, and your umpire's getting it set, and your center's sitting there waiting to go, but they hadn't substituted. You still gonna hold him up?
No.
We're gonna do the 4. We're gonna do the 4 seconds and let them go.
Allow our crew to get set.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, but understand that the expectation is. The question was: if Team A has not substituted, do we hold them up, and do we hold them up to allow our officials to get into position? Two-pronged conversation here. Under normal conditions, your crew should be in position to officiate other than the umpire, okay? And like I said earlier in the breakout, is where you're going to be vulnerable is where we're close to the line of the game, and we've got the head linesman or line judge who have really pinched hard, okay? That's when we have to have recognition, and then as an umpire, he doesn't know necessarily that we've got substitutions or anything else, okay? Because the other thing that we're eliminating from the umpire in this particular case is his opportunity to count the offense. That falls all on us as a referee. I'm asking him to do nothing but one thing, and that is prevent the snap. His focus is get him up and look to me, okay? So I've got to count is all on me, all right? So now he's depending on me. I recognize that I've got my line judge and my head linesman out of position. I'll let him get back, then I point him off, and I'll say that. Absolutely, the referee's got to be here. Yes.
See,
this means
in the past, most of us never did that to you.
Right, it's always been the wingman.
When I drop my hands, you get out of there. A lot of times I've just got the habit of dropping my hands and pointing to my umpire.
That's the one that left this year.
Just get him out of there. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They definitely, everybody has responsibility of, hey, I got a substitution. Yes. I'm sorry? A very ugly center? Yeah, well, you know. I can't comment about that. But to answer his question was, does the sideline, the offensive sideline, help you with substitutions? Absolutely. If Team A sideline substitutes, the line judge just take a step or two on the field and give you this. And then the line judge should be looking across to see for defensive substitution. We're all responsible for the substitution process. All right? Yes.
About the back judge. Should be given.
What's the penalty if they do snap it?
He's counting.
Yeah. Well, it would be delay of game is what it would be. But what I would tell you is, early on, just warn and do a do-over. If he doesn't really understand, I would just reset and replay. Just have one do-over, and after that, I'd flag him. Yeah. And when you have that do-over, you need to make sure that you explain that clearly to your center umpire. I need to talk to my referee, and our line scrimmage guys need to communicate with the head coach about what's going on here. I'm telling you, when you snap, that's on me. Just because that play clock's running, that ball's on the ground does not give you the right to snap the football. That is absolutely not the case. As a referee, I am totally responsible with allowing you to snap or not allowing you to snap, and I'm doing that through the umpire. Okay? Yes?
That rain,
Oh yeah, absolutely. On fourth down, you really need to be conscious. And I don't get too excited about the play clock getting below 20 on punt plays. Because the truth of the matter is, if Team A messes around with the substitution process, a great deal of the time, they'll sit there and not decide, they won't run their punt team on until 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. And guess what happens then? Team B has their opportunity. So I'm going to be out here. I'm going to let Team B get all their defense off. I'm going to let them not only get their 9 or 10 guys here, I'm going to let them get the 10th and 11th guy down there before I drop my hands. And if the play clock goes off, it's a delay game in the offense. Absolutely. So yes, you will be up with a T on 4th down probably longer than any down. That's where you need to make sure that you, again, the umpire's not looking, only you know when Team B has satisfied their opportunity to match up. Yes?
Like as a referee, you're standing there, you're ready to release the umpire, get him back, but the defense is lollygagging coming back. You know that if you release it, literally the defense is not saying you. How do you know?
Well, I will allow the defense to come in there that one time and lollygag in, because as soon as the first opportunity I've got, I will go over to that head coach, and I did it. I had Oklahoma Baylor 2 years ago, and what teams get smart about is the rule book says you can match up. He runs a wide receiver in. It doesn't mean that the rule book doesn't say you got to run a corner in there. What Bob was doing is he's running a nose. He was changing his nose tackle out. That's all he was doing. He was just slowing Baylor down by using every time Baylor substitute, he'd run a nose guard in there and run the nose guard out. But what he was doing is that we'd be doing this. And I told my head linesman, I said, tell him to get his substitution in quicker. A couple of plays go by. Finally, I'm on that sideline. I said, Bob, he looked at me. I said, I'm telling you, last time, if you want protection, get your player in. He's got to hustle. Yes, sir. And he did. So it is incumbent upon the defense to substitute in a reasonable manner. I don't penalize them on that one play, but I would tell you this: if he lollygagged long enough around and it ended up being a delay game and it was just exorbitant, I'd put it on the defense then. Use your judgment then. But otherwise, if it's just he's lollygagging, he gets off, then go over in the morning and tell him it's his responsibility. I'm going to give you an opportunity to match up, but you got to do so in an expeditious manner.
I wasn't necessarily speaking of the substitution situation. I'm just talking about the previous play, the defense was just taking their time coming up.
We have no obligation to them. That's totally their problem. If Team A does not substitute, what goes on with the defense, we couldn't care less about. They have Team B has no special provisions unless A substitutes and is trying to snap to create a defensive disadvantage.
So A's ready to go, let him go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what you're going to see. You're going to see that. I think you're going to see that with good schools that are going to push the pace, and the defense has got to be ready. Every now and then, they'll run that wrist, they'll run that linebacker in and run that guy out. They get called for 12, it's on the defense, as long as A hasn't substituted. So just make sure we're clear. Team B is afforded no special provisions unless A substitutes and they are rushing quickly or at the line of scrimmage in an attempt to create a defensive disadvantage, which means that if Team A is huddling and they substitute and they make no attempt to break quickly and rush to the line of scrimmage, B is also not afforded any extra time. They've got to substitute. That's in your mechanics manual. So we're only talking about when A is in a hurry-up offense or they substitute, break that huddle.